John, from your vantage point, what is approaching us now? What are we dealing with when this caravan, however many are left in it, arrive at the U.S.-Mexico border?
Hi, Neil. Thanks for having me back. What we're looking at here, if I had to give an analogy, this would be like students storming the football field at the end of a gigantic victory. If you have one or two students who decide to jump over the fence, the police can easily take care of them, and then that stops the rest. But when the entire stadium decides to pour into the field, the police just move out of the way for their own safety. And I think that's what we have here, at least from the perspective of the people who are coming. They see strength in numbers, and they see no hope in the home countries that they're coming from, and they think if they can get into this caravan and they can just overwhelm some port of entry, really a pressure point in our southern border, that they're going to be let into the United States and have a chance for a better life.
What is the process, if you don't mind steering me through that? How do we separate folks? What do we do?
Well, it's going to depend on how the person enters the United States. We saw this with a smaller caravan earlier in the year. You had people coming up to the border who knocked on the door and legally said, I'd like to enter the United States and apply for asylum. And our Border Patrol said, sorry, we have too many right now, you're going to have to wait. And so people were stuck in camps right outside the Mexican border with the United States, and they were waiting for days and weeks at a time for their asylum interview. Others said, I'm just going to cross the border at another port of entry because I'm going to get an instant interview, even though I've now committed basically a federal crime. It is a misdemeanor to illegally enter the United States, but you get an asylum hearing faster and you don't have to wait in Mexico. And so the process is going to depend on how the people enter the United States. So they try to do it legally at a port of entry claiming asylum, or do they cross the border in an irregular and illegal fashion, and then they can be subject to detention.
All right, now detention or going to the wrong facility or deliberately to go in another one,
Right.
Why can't Mexico detain them while we go through this process for them?
Mexico can detain them, Neil, and I think that the root of the problem and how to solve it is all in the home countries. It's in El Salvador, it's in Honduras, it's in Guatemala, and it's in Mexico. Mexico recently put out a statement that you're going to have two options if you enter their country without a visa, and it's going to be detention, and you can apply for asylum in Mexico, or you're going to be immediately deported. Now, until Mexico decides to enforce that 100% of the time, which I don't see that possible with a 7,000-person caravan, but until they take action to stop the individuals from crossing through Mexico to the United States, there's really nothing that we're going to be able to do once they get here to turn them around. Mexico has to be our partner in this, and I think that's what President Trump is trying to make happen.
All right, John, thank you very, very much. To John's point about Mexico trying to be a partner in all of this,